I'm Sarah Borson-Keto, and in conjunction with REITwise 2021, I'm speaking today with Julie Swinehart, EVP, CFO, and Treasurer of Retail Properties of America. Julie, thanks for joining me today.
Great to be here. Thanks for having me.
What are the key themes that you plan to cover in your conversations with FASB and SEC leadership?
Well, I've been a REITwise audience member for many, many years, and I can remember this session as being one of the best ones where I would break out my notebook or my tablet to be able to jot down some of the key topics that I needed to bring back to my CFO or to my board, or perhaps what I needed to discuss with my auditors. I think this year's FASB and SEC update will be productive. The panelists who include Jim Croker from the FASB, he's the FASB Vice Chairman, and John Van Ostal, who's the Deputy Chief Accountant from the Office of the Chief Accountant of the SEC. They plan to hit on several key topics. They're focusing their materials on really what's relevant for our REIT-focused audience, be it key topics on their own agendas, but also addressing outreach and interaction with constituents, including companies represented by conference attendees.
We understand that there have been changes at the helm of both FASB and within the Office of the Chief Accountant at the SEC in the last year. Who are the new leaders and what are their backgrounds?
Well, for the SEC, the Office of the Chief Accountant had previously been run actually by an old friend of mine and colleague from Deloitte, Sagar Tiotia. He stepped down in January, and at that time, Paul Munter was appointed as the acting chief accountant. So Paul's been with the SEC for a little over a year, and he's spent some time in his career both in academia and also in public accounting. For the FASB, Rich Jones took the reins last year from Russ Golden, who had been leading the FASB for 7 years, and like Russ, Rich has a strong public accounting background, having recently served as EY's chief accountant. I believe Rich was with EY for nearly 30 years. So I think leadership, the leadership transition topic is one to which we can all relate. We've all had a new boss at some point in our careers, and of course there's always an adjustment period. I think typically new leaders come in with a slightly different, sometimes very different vision from their predecessors. So I think it'll be really interesting to hear the perspectives from both John and Jim during the session.
What are some of the projects on FASB's agenda that will be most interesting to our members?
Well, time permitting, Jim does plan to cover several key topics. Segment reporting is on his list, goodwill, joint venture formation and business combination accounting, perhaps even reference rate reform as we see LIBOR transition on the horizon. I'm sure the time will fly by. We just have 75 minutes for the session. We've got a lot to cover, but I really hope everyone can make it this year, and I think that we're doing everything we can to make sure it hits the mark for participants.
Julie, thanks again for your time.
Thank you.
All right, and for more from REITwise, be sure to visit NAREIT's website, REIT.com.